Hi, so family. Welcome to my channel. We talk about all things to heal, grow, and evolve. And today I want to talk about dissolving your ego and becoming the God of your life. And if this is your first time watching, welcome. My name is Sage, and on this channel we talk about things such as spirituality, metaphysics, and African history. So if that's something that you're interested in, just keep on watching. And I wanted to make this video specifically about how to really not let your ego get in the way of evolution as a spiritual being living a human experience. And when I say become the God of your life, I don't mean this as an egotistical way, as like a narcissistic type of way, because if we all remember who we are, we know we are God's source. We know that we are connected to the divine. We all have a connection to source because we are created in God's image. And so, in return, we have that same God given powers within us, within our own individual human body capacity. And so we need to tap into that to really help us evolve, activate our DNA, activate our genetic codes that are within us that is not activated, that's been hidden off, to elevate our souls, elevate our lives, elevate all aspects of our human experiences, and elevate us to really propel us to higher timelines. But the main thing that gets in the way is human thought. Human thought is comes from the ego. Human thought, the ego is a part of this human body experience. The ego is attached to this human body, and it comes with your human thought, it comes with your emotions, because all is in the mind. All starts with how you think, and how you think will be how you react. How you react is what you do, and what you do is what you will see in your reality. This goes all the way back to mental programming, subconscious belief systems, all of that. And really, what I'm trying to say here is it comes down to like a hidden spiritual war on the mind, spiritual warfare. It's on the mind. It's control and power and dominance over your thought processes, your beliefs, mind control, and programming you to do the things that they want you to do here in this matrix. Having a matrix mindset, you know I say that a lot in this channel. Having the matrix mindset is always feeling like you have a lack or scarcity within you, that you have to get a 9 to 5, you have to go to college, you have to get a real career, a real job, you have to be in survival mode at all times, you have to be in doubt within yourself, or you feel like you have to find your answers outward, and never going within yourself for the answers, or not believing in yourself to accomplish a thing, or not feeling like you have the answers within you or the solutions within you, or forgetting that you have that connection with God, connection with source and the divine. That is what this matrix is created. It's a system created to make us forget that and not realize we have these abilities within us, to tap into them, within our DNA, within our genetic light codes. So, realizing we have this ability, realizing we have these powers within us to activate them, to remember who we are as a spiritual being, remember why we came here, remember why we came down here to live this human experience, that comes with dissolving the ego. Dissolving the ego comes with releasing limiting beliefs about yourself, releasing the need to always feel comfortable, always feel stagnant, or always be complacent with things. Because if you want to dissolve the ego, you have to create change. And the ego does not like change. The ego does not like doing something different. It likes to be complacent. It likes doing the same thing over and over again. But you have to challenge your thoughts, those whispers, those nudge you get. Well, maybe you shouldn't make this change. Maybe we can, like, it doesn't hurt if you don't want to make this change. Like, we're perfectly fine just doing the same thing over and over. Like, you don't have to do it. Maybe you shouldn't. Like, what if it doesn't work out? What if it's actually a bad thing to do? There That's the ego trying to slip into your mind to cause confusion, doubt, and fear within you. So you have to work on neutralizing the ego, neutralizing these thoughts that come about, these what if worst case scenarios, to create changes in your life. And it comes down with having faith in the unknown and the unseen, because we really don't know what's going to happen in the near future. We don't know what's going to happen, but we have faith that everything will work out in our favor. And that is what will help you release this attachment with the ego, attachment with all these human, mundane, superficial things that we experience on a day-to-day basis, and which is pushed out through social media, the government, societies. We have to release these detachments. So people who are very argumentative, very defensive. They get offended by every small little thing. They're not embodying the higher version of themselves. So they don't have an inner knowing, because if you know who you are, you know you're a part of God, you know you're connected to the divine. There's no reason for you to be argumentative or defensive about something. Of course, stand in your truth, but you don't have to argue to like prove a point, because there's nothing to prove. You being here, your existence is enough proof. Letting go of that mundane, superficial thoughts, having to argue, having to gossip, having to feel like you belong or do something for a group of people to feel like you are appreciated or accepted, or to people please. People pleasing is one thing the ego does. It's a part of the ego you need to dissolve. People pleasing tendencies. Why do we do this? There is some type of thing missing, or there's some type of lack within you, to the point where you overcompensate through other people to receive that validation, to receive that love, to receive that acceptance from others, when you have to go within and give that to yourself first. In return, you will manifest, you will receive the people in your life who shows up in the same way you show up for yourself. I'm kind of going all over the place, because I'm just thinking about there's so many different ways to do this and dissolve the ego. So it's a whole process and it's a whole practice. So going back to the superficial, mundane things of thinking like, oh, I want to have a car. I want to have a nice car, nice house, being this luxurious lifestyle, which is great, which is wonderful. We all deserve to have that abundance of luxury in our lives. However, the thing is to not be so attached to it. Know that we're able to have it because we are connected to these things, because all of these things are a part of God, but not being so attached to it. So in the next life, we're able to move on, we're able to cross over to go to higher and better things in higher dimensions, because we're not attached to this car, we're not attached to this house, we're not attached to these luxurious Gucci bag, Louis Vuitton items. There's not an attachment. We have an appreciation for it. We're grateful for these experiences in our lives. And yes, we deserve more abundance, because abundance is infinite and abundance is within our birthright, but we're not attached to these mundane things. Luxury is having joy. Luxury is having inner peace within us. Luxury is being able to wake up with a smile on our faces and feeling safe. Those are also things of luxury. And we need to see that, and we need to understand that, to release these detachments from these physical, mundane things, when we can also give abundance and luxury and love into different aspects of our lives as well. And dissolving the ego will help us realize that, and realize that, yes, these great things in life are amazing. However, there's other focuses in my life that I also want to give love and add luxury into that as well. And so overall, all of this kind of connects. They're all kind of connected to one another. And it's also activating your heart chakra frequency. Your heart has to be right. If your heart isn't right, there is no way you can evolve as a spiritual being. Your heart chakra has to be activated and aligned. Your heart chakra is what aligns you between your lower chakra and your higher chakra. Is like a mediator between the two. So if your heart is not in alignment, you can't even open higher consciousness or be in tune with higher dimensions, higher beings, higher realms, and to even evolve to the next stages even after this life. Your heart chakra, your heart frequency has to be in alignment with the frequency of the universe. As people say, I don't know if you heard of this term, or afterlife. Your heart is weighed on a scale, and if it's not lighter than a feather, you reincarnate back here on this earth. So with that scale, it's the scale of the frequency of the universe. So your heart has its own consciousness. Your heart chakra has a consciousness and has a frequency that is vibrating at consistently. And your heart chakra has to be in that same alignment. So your heart has to be open, has to be light. If you're walking around, if you're carrying around a bunch of regret, doubt, fear, oh, I should have done this in my past. Why is this happening to me in my life? If you're carrying around all these heavy burdens within you, your heart is not light. How can your heart be light if you're walking around with so much regret, so much doubt within yourself, so much fear? You have to release these things to open up your heart frequency, to be in vibration with this heart frequency consciousness. So in doing so, you awaken that light within you. You activate the higher chakras within, and you connect it to your crown chakra. That's when you're able to receive the downloads, receive channels from higher dimensions, because you unlocked your heart. Your heart is open, it's welcoming, it's receptive to higher forces, it's receptive to source, the divine, and you're not operating in fear, you're operating in love, which is a straight connection to the divine source in the universe, because that is the highest vibrational frequency, love. And if you're operating in that because you've done the work, you've done the releasing work, the healing work, the shadow work to release all of that within you, then you're connected to love. And so in return, love will show up in all different areas of your life. And love is another luxury that we can operate in consistently. And if we leave this earth in the frequency and in the state of love with our heart chakra open and activated, we are off to better, amazing, higher dimensional things in our life that we can't even fathom, we can't even imagine, because it is so beyond our comprehension of being in this 3D physical body. But there's so much greater and better things in our life, in this life and in the afterlife, that we can't even fathom and comprehend if our heart chakra is not open. So work on that heart chakra, make your heart feel light. Do things that you enjoy, what makes you happy, what brings happiness into you. Working with your inner child, doing inner child work, healing your inner child, any inner child trauma, childhood trauma. Release those barriers and blockages that is stopping you from becoming the God of your own life. So when I say God of your own life, like I said, it's not anything egotistical or anything like narcissism or anything like that. Is having the ability to create your own life as you wish, because you know you are co-creators with the universe every single day. And so you wake up and you make a decision on how I want to live my life. How do I want to operate? What type of vibrational frequency do I want to operate on? And what type of timeline do I want to be on? And you take those actions, you take those emotions, and you operate in a way of you are in your highest version of yourself. You become that being, that version of you. You become the God of your life in the physical. And then in the spiritual, you have a connection to God, to source, the higher dimensions, higher realms automatically, because you worked on your heart. You've worked on your thought processes, your thought patterns. You've done actions to release your traumas, to release your triggers, to release any of these things that is holding you back. You have a connection to your inner child, and you know what your inner child wants. You listen to your inner child and release all these things that happened in your childhood. And so you become a free person. And a free person is someone who has mastery of both the physical and the spiritual world. So this is what I mean when I say being a God of your life is you are creating the life that you want to live every single day. Every choices you make on a daily basis, you understand and you know that these your own choices have an effect on your life, and you are in complete control of your life. Sometimes we go through situations, we go through things for help us be gain knowledge and to evolve into higher dimensions, higher realms, for our soul to have that human experience. But we know that we're not supposed to stay in those situations. We know these situations are here to give us clarity and understanding on how to get out of it, not to stay stuck, stagnant, and complacent, and stuck in a timeline loop of the same darkness, of the same undesired life, of the same unhappiness over and over and over again. So dissolving your ego comes with allowing yourself to have the understanding and the awareness of your thoughts create your reality. Your thoughts is mental, that your thoughts is the first step in changing the physical, because all is mental. It starts with your mind, it starts with your belief system, it starts with what you think on a daily basis, how you see yourself, in these situations, how you see yourself in your life, and what you're able to accomplish in this life. If there's any limiting beliefs that hinders you or stop you from stepping into that purpose, stepping into that goal you have for yourself, that comes with the self-realization, and it also comes with the action behind it, not just knowing about it and then not doing anything, because nothing can change if there's no action with it. There is no momentum, there is no change, there is nothing that you can really do to create that change if there's nothing to change it with. I know people say like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting something different to happen. That is what insanity is. You're making your mind insane by not creating that change, but desiring change in the first place. So you dissolving the ego is self-realization. It is having control of your mind, be neutral in these thoughts that come, because we can't completely just erase these thoughts that come in our mind that give us doubts and fear within ourselves. It's all about neutralizing it and not allowing it to make major decisions in our life, not allowing it to be the main one controlling our life decisions, be the main thing that's running us. We should be able to run it, not run us. We should be able to use our ego when need be, not allow the ego to use us and take over us. So it comes down with work. mental work, healing work, emotional work, shadow work. You have to be able to do the work. You have to be willing to do the work and be brave enough to make change in your life and release fears of being seen, fears of rejection, because all of that is still part of the ego. And it comes, like I said, comes down to neutralizing these thoughts, because all of these things are possibilities. If you have a goal for yourself or being seen or wanting to live a luxurious life, the people that you may be in contact with, the people that know you, you may have fears about what they'll think of you, how they perceive you now. You may have fears of putting yourself online or putting yourself out there. That is the ego stopping you from making a major change, a major timeline change in your life. And I mean, that is all a possibility, but that is not the main timeline reality you want to be in. So, as long as you focus on what will be the best version of myself, what would be my highest timeline, you can control your thoughts, control your emotions, control your thought patterns, and be consistent in the action to embody the best life you desire. And having that ability to use the ego as you at will, having that discernment to know that this is the right place to use my ego, because we can dissolve the ego, neutralize it, and merge it with the higher selves. And that's when the ego can be healthy. That's when you can use the ego for in even being in higher dimensions. But it comes with control and mastery of your mind, mastery of your emotions, and being able to transmute emotions, being able to transmute that hate, fear into unconditional love. And you can use the ego to do that, but you just have to be aware of what you're doing and how you're doing it and build that discernment and judgment of when it's appropriate to do that. So, yes, we have all these great and wonderful things we want to manifest in our lives. And I'm so proud of us for having these ideas, stepping into our creativity, step into our soul mission, our life purpose, our destinies. But human thought and ego is what is getting in the way of y'all actually putting yourself out there due to fears, due to rejection, due to what if scenarios that you've created in your mind. Most of these things we have in our mind are what are these what if situations are not even real. These are made up conversations we have that we use these what if imaginary situations to run our lives and operate in a state of complacency. So we just need to get out of that cycle, get out of that loop of not being able to do it or not feeling like we're worthy or valuable enough to do so. But if you know who you are, it would not matter. You would still do it regardless, because we're spiritual beings living a human experience, and we know we have a calling, a destiny, a purpose. If you were not able to fulfill this mission, you would not be here. Your soul chose this. Your soul and who you are right here in the 3D are not two separate entities, are not two separate beings. It is you on a higher dimension, and it is you here in the 3D. So the things that you like, the things that give you passion, the things that give you love, the things that just lights up your inner child, you make you feel like you're a kid again, that is the same thing that your soul chose to do on the 3D realm, because it is still you. It's the things that you like, that gives you happiness, that gives you joy, is the same thing that your higher self in a 5D also likes and also enjoys, because it's you. It's not two separate things. And having control of your ego will eliminate all of these obstacles you've put in your way of what if scenarios, what if people don't like it, what if I get judged, what if I get rejected, what if people don't like me for it. It doesn't matter. As long as your heart is in it, things will work out for you. And you will find the people who also align with these things as well. You will find your soul family, you will find your soul group, you'll find people who love the things you're doing, people who want to learn more about what you have to offer, who love to put you in positions and give you opportunities to open more doors into your life. But it all comes down to being able to master your thoughts and your emotions, neutralizing whatever things that is in your way, and dissolving, and in return you will dissolve the ego. So yeah, that is all I have for this video. I hope it finds you well. If there's anything specifically you want me to make a video on or mention, let me know down in the comments. And until next time, I will see you on the next video. Bye, y'all.